lot of directors. Not as many as ABC's of death, mind you, but a lot. And so I just realized it's going to be a lot to deal with, so I thought that I'd bring up my programming associate, the guy who's been my right hand through the last couple of years here at Midnight Madness. You might know him as that guy with the hat. Put your hands together for my programming associate here from Hell. A little bit of insight on how we picked films here at the Toronto National Film Festival. So we got all the submissions in, we're working on them, right? Green Room done, okay? Hardcore done. Final Girl's done. All right, Yakuza Apocalypse done. SPL2 done. Here, we don't have a Wednesday movie.
That's okay, Colin, because I just watched this movie called Southbound and it's awesome. That's how it happened.
That's how it happened. Actually, the way it happened is we also got a money order in our bank account for $10,000. We got a Wednesday movie! It doesn't happen like that. Sorry. Maybe some films. I don't know. Anyways, we're not going to talk about that. But anthology films. It's a new thing. Is it a new thing or is it an old thing?
No, it's an old thing, but what I enjoyed about this is that it was doing it in a new way. I thought it was just really, really impressed. It's rare to see an anthology film this cohesive and this thematically interesting. So I was really, really excited.
So we'd like to introduce to you the directors of Southbound. Starting off with Roxanne Benjamin.
And over the road, we've got David Bruckner. And then brought down the house of VHS, Radio Silence! And we also like to bring up producer Brad Miska.
Alright, thank you all for coming. We're really excited to be here, and yeah, let's just get this show on the road, figuratively and literally.
Alright. Alright. Want to bring back Peter Kaplowski because we're going to need two people here to handle this motley crew. Alright, so in order of segment. First off, we have Radio Silence. Then we have Roxanne Benjamin. David Bruckner. And we have a producer, Brad Miska. Hey, Patrick! There we go. Alright, so Radio Silence get all down here. You guys get. Alright, so. Okay, just scoot over to the side of the station. So you guys have a bunch of people you want to bring up, and they'll all stand on this side of the stage. It's like herding cats here. Oh my god. Alright, so who do you guys want to bring up? Roxanne.
You guys, Susan Burke, my co-writer. We got a lot of cast here tonight. You can get them on stage.
Cast them on
James Barry, our composer. What's his name? Chris Harding in that one? Someone?
Oh, there it is.
Oh, there he is.
Skipper, everybody get up here, come on.
the Canadian editor for your segment, Roxanne?
Oh, yeah.
Jason Eisner.
Jason Eisner.
Oh, look, a hot guy. There you go. So, So Roxanne, where did the idea for this come from? Like, how did this come together? And can you just?
I think most of the times that we end up making these kind of movies, it starts with Brad being like, "Hey guys, let's make a movie," and yeah.
Yeah, it's just I like working with my friends, and I was talking to Matt, eating a hot dog, and what are we doing here? Or something. I was like, "Well, make a movie." They're like, "All right." So I gave him my pitch, and then I asked him if he liked it, if he thought it was cool. And I said, "Can you come back, talk to the guys, come up with your own version of that, and come back?" And they came back with their wraparound for it, and we just sort of took it from there. And Roxanne and I had a great experience working with her on the VHS movies. Like, she really understands horror really well, and wanted to direct one, and I was like, fuck yeah. I think she did an amazing job, and yeah, I think
So this was more, as opposed to most other recent anthologies where they kind of like give the director a budget, they go off and do it and hope it all kind of fits together. Can you talk, I mean, was there kind of a collaborative writing process with everyone, all the directors and writers?
Yeah, kind of like developing in a writer's room, I would say, for TV. It was kind of coming up with the world together. It was a lot of driving out in the desert, a lot of road trips up to where they shot Tremors, and where these guys have shot before, and kind of coming up with the world. And then what stories fit within that world, where there's crossover points to be, how to tie them all together so it feels like one narrative feature rather than separated entities.
And then during the shooting of it, you worked together on the production?
Oh yes, all hands on deck.
Yeah, I mean, we hired department heads to handle makeup and special effects and production design and costumes and all of that, and we really shot it like a feature. We had 22 days more or less back to back. I think there were a couple of breaks here and there, but then we switched DPs, and obviously cast came in and out, aside from the people who are present in multiple segments. But yeah, it just was kind of this weird machine that once it started with Pat was first to shoot. Pat kind of backed us into a date, you fucker. We all needed like 4 more weeks of start time, and you were like, "Oh, guys, I think I want to shoot in February." And so we all had to get our shit together. And
yeah, let's get yeah.
A lot of notes, a lot of group notes, a lot of late nights. Everybody got to screen their films for one another, and pressure test every single idea. So.
I wanted to ask about the mythology in the film because I like all the little hints to the larger world, and I like that it's not just, oh, it's Satanists, it's not, you know, there's this other kind of original mythology that you guys are conjuring. So I'd like to hear a bit from all of you guys about the mythology for each of your shorts in terms of what, no, I mean, I don't want you guys to start saying, this is what happens, this is what's going on, because I think it's great that not all of it is straightforward and told explicitly, but if you guys could all touch on the mythology of your shorts.
Well, we start with one of the writers here.
Oh, okay. Well, well, first I want to say that I pitched the name Purgatories like 20 times, and everyone's like, no. But with Roxanne, with our segment, Siren, we really wanted to do something that was a mostly female cast with female leads, and we also wanted to do something that had to do with a cult. And we sort of came up with this allegory for growing up, like that, like the adults were super square, and that if you go home with adults, bad things happen. So that's sort of ours.
I mean, we wanted to start the movie with 2 characters that you kind of love because you don't actually know what they're running from. That you sort of sympathize with them. They're being chased by something that is unknown, and then their sort of vicious deaths hopefully kind of leave you wondering, man, what the hell? Where did these guys come from? What did they do to deserve this? And then at the end, we really wanted to have that moment when they pull their masks off be this sort of flip side of that, where you realize you just sympathized in the beginning of the film with 2 really horrific men who do something that is morally questionable, but still commit this really terrible act and then are punished for it.
And I actually had to ask Roxanne and Susan if it was okay if we ran over their protagonists right in the middle of the movie.
Sorry, Bobby.
No, we were all talking about, we're kind of driving out in the desert, just talking about different ideas and how to structure an anthology in a different way, and these common themes kept coming up. So like guilt, remorse, like the idea of putting something that you're kind of ashamed of up on screen, and then building the horror out of that. So I think that was the common thread, and the mythology kind of grew out of that. I think once everybody could identify that in each of their pieces, we just start to know it and find common territory. You want to talk about?
So when we got into the jailbreak segment, I just thought it would be funny to have somebody who actually is not. I mean, one of the appealing factors of this is sort of the Twilight Zone aspect, where any average person can find themselves accidentally in this world, whatever this is, or in this area. And then to have somebody that actually sought it out on purpose was sort of a fun poke at this, whatever it was that this world would be. We just thought it'd be a hoot. To have somebody like bust in with a shotgun and be like, "I'm on to you, motherfuckers." So that was that. I mean, essentially, and then to kind of not put too fine a point on what this world's capable of. And so that was just another fun thing with Jailbreak that we wanted to do. So hence like the tattoo of hand and dudes out in the woods or out in the desert. Don't go out in the desert.
Does anyone else have a question? So I kind of want to know what it was like in the accident segment. Just like, what? Yeah, how do you put yourself into that position for that? Like, how long was that shoot, and how often did you have to be banging your head and with the guy's hand in your mouth and in your stomach? And, like, I want details.
I don't know if I'm allowed to share this information. It was pretty brutal, but it was also, I don't know, it was pretty amazing, and it was like every emotion at its absolute highest peak, which is, I think, what horror at its best is when it's like that. And Mather, who isn't here right now, was really, really amazing and caring and wonderful to work with, and made me feel very safe. And it was only a week-long shoot that it was really brutal for. It was really awesome.
I can imagine there'd be moments where it's like, "Are you okay?" after like a take or something.
It was a very tender poster.
Questions from the audience? Right there. Were there inspirations for each individual story? Is that the question?
Yeah, and why put them together in such also different?
The question is what inspired the stories and why even the idea to do the project of connective stories.
I guess for us, like the overall wraparound came from the fact that anthologies always have like that wraparound that you have to go back to get to the next story, and we're like, why can't we just go to the next story? So we tried to find a way we created a zipper transition. We're like, oh, what if you have a shot that brings you into the next short? That's all you really need, and you're into the next short, and you don't even realize it. So for us, the overall arching, the anthology style was born of that. I think too, what we kind of emerged was, what if there was a fucked up highway somewhere, if you find yourself driving on it? You're going to run into what you need to run into. So like whatever you're carrying into that situation, you're going to come upon it. That was kind of late in the game that we discovered that, because you get in these anthology writers' rooms, we just want to make a movie. You get together and everybody brings something to the table and you kind of try these ideas out, and something emerges and you go, okay, we can put a movie around that. Like we can design something around that. Like I haven't heard of that before. That would be fun. And I think when that came about, we got a kind of clear picture of it. Also, we get to go to the desert.
A little before that, we kind of like the idea of untwisting the twist, so to speak. With VHS, we didn't want to trick the audience into thinking it was really found footage, and the audience is stupid. So the same thing with this is we like the idea of paradox and purgatory. Most movies, the twist would be that they're in purgatory. we wanted you to know right away. You're gonna, like it's purgatory. They're all stories about purgatory, and that's kind of how they tie together.
Yeah, and I think that as a whole, all of us as a team, one of the sort of common conversations we were always having, the thing that I think crystallized for us after our very early conversations was just this idea that in our own lives, what if we were trapped in our own, like we are the sum of our experiences, and we are living out the consequences of all the things that we've done in our lives, and what if we ourselves are on some weird, fucked up loop, and you just don't know it? And what if this day, 4,720 in this crazy loop that's going to start over again sometime? And the sort of maddening element of that, I think, was really fun and fascinating. So we steered into the loop, the overall loop concept.
That's what happens when you get seven during the desert one too many times.
The movie felt like making the movie felt like
Yeah.
And then I guess quickly, were there like specific inspirations for any of the shorts, or just came from the recesses of your own
I
nightmares?
think they all thematically, like that's where we kind of started with the links there, and obviously there's like the guilt and regret and remorse that we were talking about. Whether you're guilty of something or not, it's whether you think you are that gets you on the path where you're going. For mine and Susan, I think we were talking a lot about just stuff that we liked, like ginger snaps or picnic at Hanging Rock and virgin suicides and stuff like that.
It was actually Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
We were a huge Final Fantasy Radio Sounds dude. That was kind of the driving inspiration for us, and is in a lot of our stuff.
Right at the back.
I really like the location a lot. Can you tell me specifics about where it was shot and like what inspired you to choose that location? Because it was so weird. It felt like a dream to me. And like just the location itself. Do you have any information about
Well,
that?
there was a fair amount of variety in where we shot. Pat, you shot?
We shot mostly
Where they shot.
Lancaster and Palmdale mostly,
Lancaster,
and then like
yeah.
29 Palms for the ice cream shop.
Yeah. I mean, I think for what we were looking for, and I think what we all found to a certain degree was when you're shooting a movie that has to happen this fast and you don't have a ton of money for it, you actually have to find a place that feels as weird as you want it to on screen. And I think that we did that. I mean, we shot in this weird unincorporated valley in California called Wonder Valley. There's no zip codes. There are like 6 or 7 little dwellings out on the horizon, and it's like genuinely a chilling place to be. But there's something like really strange and kind of peaceful and quiet about it too. I don't know. It sort of had all the qualities of the tone that we were wanting to explore, and we really, I think, just lucked out that we just drove just far enough to find Wonder Valley. We ended up really living there. I think ours. Dave, did you shoot? Southern Colorado.
So the cast, how weird was it? You guys just started laughing.
Oh, do go on.
So we were staying in the house that they shot the invasion sequence in for our part, and we ended up leaving after the first night because we were so convinced it was haunted and moved into Motel 6. And there were the creepiest figures and artwork all over the place, and these things that said meow all over. And then we found a little framed photo that said "My Extraordinary Other World," and that was what meow stood for. And this is literally just a house in the middle of Joshua Tree that is fucking terrifying. Yes, and then in the closet. And then everybody thought we were crazy, including Susan, who moved in the next day and said she doesn't believe in ghosts. And listen to what happened to Susan.
Well, no, I totally believe in ghosts. I was just like, no, this place is fine. It's just like hippies, desert people that are aliens live there. And then I saw something and was like, oh, fuck this, I'm going to Motel 6.
The next day on set, I heard one of the PAs talking about how they were moving into the Motel 6, and I was like, what happened?
But then, when we were done shooting, and I don't think I told anyone about Roxanne this, I looked up that address, right? And found out this is a horse property, a 6-bedroom, nice house, right? That it sold in 2011 for $36,000. And in 2010, a registered sex offender lived there.
You have no idea the amount of relief and panic that was diluted at those that place. Like we felt we had just saved our lives when we drove away from that place.
Really,
It's
this is
just
the most
so
elaborate
elaborate.
scheme to get all of them to bond before we should.
I came out there and you guys abandoned me. I showed up after all of this and I didn't know any of this had happened. I showed up at this house and Roxanne's like, it's cool, the doors are unlocked, just make yourself at home. And I come in, I'm like, oh, this place is rad. And then Roxanne comes back by to grab some stuff. She's like, oh yeah, it's totally haunted, nobody can sleep here, we'll be back. And then they abandoned me. Like, it's so dark that you can see a car 20 miles away. Like, nothing except me and haunted house. They're like, okay, well, we'll see in a little bit. I drove all the way back to LA, you guys. I'm not joking. It was like 3 hours. I was like, what's here? All the way back to LA.
Yeah, I was wondering if you guys could talk a little bit about like the through line of like the DJ and like how you picked Ray Fessenden and like who wrote that stuff and what just like talk about that.
Questions about the DJ, who wrote it, how you came up with it?
Yeah, I mean, I think, go for it. We all kind of wrote different parts in your segment. We all wrote kind of our own in a way, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Larry was your friend.
Yeah, I've been doing Tales from Beyond the Pale with Larry. I've done a couple of those. It's the radio show that he does, and he's kind of like the godfather of genre. I feel like a lot of us have worked with him in some capacity, or our friends have. So yeah, we kind of just called him like, Larry,
Please do a rough take. And we were like, oh,
you
this
sound like
is
Satan.
exactly what we wanted. It's not what we wanted.
Yeah.
And we spent a week in that house 2 weeks after you guys shot that. I had no idea about any of that.
We didn't sleep, we had like 19 people out there, that was maybe the only reason.
That's kind of what we do it.
Right there.
Just been noticing that like the past couple of years there's a lot more of these sort of anthology films, and I was just wondering if as the creators of this one you feel the need to up the ante when you make.
I think that it's totally valid to try and do something interesting with it, only because we're sort of faced with like this opportunity essentially to creatively put something, together, which is always a challenge, just in its own self. And then once this is like a known quantity. Like anthology is so ingrained, especially in genre. Like you don't see too many anthology comedies. There are some, but like there's not too many anthology like dramas necessarily. Anyway. But I mean so it's a very genre thing. And everyone's so genre. I mean genre fans are savvy, right? And so are the creators. I mean we're just combing our brains of everything we've seen. And I think it's constantly it's just a fun, that's the creative lifeblood. It's what else are we what's the conversation this time?
I think there's a lot of style of filmmaking out there now. I mean, we certainly kind of found footage in with VHS, and I think we just wanted to do something that sort of existed outside of the gimmick a little bit. I mean, obviously knowing that we were fully embracing the idea of an anthology, a collection of stories, but really giving ourselves the challenge of how do we use that to our advantage to make it something more, to make it more than just stand on its gimmick, but to actually kind of work as a larger story.
Well, thanks, guys. Guys, give it up to the...
Thank you, guys.